Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to Apex Racing TV's coverage of the final round of the Oceanic Formula 1 Championship here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. My name's Scott Newton, and it's just going to be me in the commentary box tonight as Samuli's away at the World Rally Championship event in Finland, so I hope he's enjoying that as we speak. That's currently going on in Finland, but here for tonight's race is definitely looking up to be an exciting finish towards the championship. Currently got 1 minute left in qualifying as I see the drivers around trying to improve within this final lap. Just having a look at the weather just as we're about to wrap up qualifying. We've got a fairly cold session for the drivers today with a an ambient temperature of 21 degrees ambient with a 35% relative humidity, northwesterly winds of 15 kilometers an hour, so it should be quite blustery out there for the drivers. Should create some quite opportunistic overtaking opportunities. Notice that it's quite overcast out there, so should be quite grippy for the drivers out there today. Just as they're about to finish up their laps, just going to see who's currently on a lap at the moment. We've got Steve Jansen that's come across the line now. He's trying to improve. His best time at the moment is a 1 minute 6.6, only 4/10 off current pole leader Evan Lathoris. At the moment he's coming up through sector 2 now, runs a little bit wide, opens up the DRS sign. No, sorry, DRS at the marker there through this sweeping section here, up into the chicane here, and onto the final section of the track where it opens out onto the oval section of the track. As he's coming through the bank section of the track, he just decides to head to the pits, and he's currently the only driver on the track at the moment, so possibly practicing one of the pit stops for the race, but we'll have to see whether he makes one during the race. So taking a look at the starting grid for the final round of the Oceanic Formula 1 Championship, we've got Evan Lathoris on pole position with a 1 minute 6.217. Alongside him, Gregory Olsen only 1/10 back. Last week's winner, Jan Brezina, starts third. Alongside him is Steve Jansen. Matt Webb starts fifth. Alan Morgan in P number 6. Luke Sullivan in P number 7. Martin Houston starts 8th. Shane Hammond starts in P number 9, and rounding out the top 10 is Wayan Chen. P number 11 is David Stritt, and the last car on the field was Matthew Williamson. Just waiting for everyone to head their way onto the starting grid. Looks as though that we had some fairly close lap times out in qualifying, so it should be providing us with some great action. I saw that the top 2 were only separated by a 10th. The championship leader Lathoris currently holds a 300 and an 8-point lead over Olsen, so mathematically it looks as though that Lathoris is champion, but it'll be interesting to see how the battle between Olsen, Jansen and Brezina shapes up, as well as Matt Webb rounding out the top 5 as well. But it looks as though that we're just waiting on Jan Brezina, Shane Hammond and Matthew Williamson at the moment. I've still got 20 seconds left to grid. So now we're just waiting for the lights to come off, and we're green. So it looks as though that Lathora's got a poor start, and Olsen alongside him gets a great start as long with Jan Brezina, but Lathoris defends for that position. Looks as though that Olsen's going to go into turn one. Oh, and Janssen looks as though they tagged Brezina, who falls back to 10th place. But other than that, it looks as though that everyone else has had a fairly clean start. Heading up into turn number 4 there, Lathoris taking a shallow line to get onto the back of Olsen. Looks as though that he's definitely applying the pressure early on, but Olsen managing to hold on to the first position at the moment. Just as they're coming through the last corner there, and onto the banking, looks as though that Lathoris has got a decent run out of that right-hander there, and is able to challenge Olsen as they come around to start lap number 2. Looks as though that Lathoris is having a look up in the inside, but couldn't get alongside, so Lathoris has to fall back in line. Looking a little bit further back, we've got Steve Janssen holding 3rd position at the moment. Luke Sullivan in P4, so he's had a great start. Alan Morgan up 1 position into 5th place. Matt Webb at the moment in 6th, 0.6 of a second back from Alan Morgan, series organiser. Martin Houston in 7th at the moment. Wei Han Chan had a decent start up into 8th. And Jan Brezina with that contact early on falls back to 9th position, and rounding out the top 10 is David Stritt. Looks as though that we've had 2 cars out at the moment currently, Shane Hammond and Matthew Williamson, so we'll have to have a look to see what happened to those 2. Back up the front at the moment, looks as though that Olsen's managing to hold off Lathoris at the moment. Last time around, Olsen was 2/10 quicker with a 1 minute 8.2 compared to Lathoris on a 1 minute 8.4. Jensen further 2/10 behind in terms of lap time on a 1 minute 8.6, but looks as though that also Lathoris has managed to close up quite a lot in this lap as well, because the gap's only 0.3 of a second as they head up into the latter part of sector 2. So as they're coming around the final corner now, it looks as though that Lathoris will have the DRS as he's making a move up into 1st position, and he makes the pass stick up into turn number 1. So great play from Lathoris. Moves up into the lead. Last lap time for him was a 1 minute 7.7, so the effect of the DRS working quite strongly there. As there's about a 2 or 3/10 of a second gap back to Olsen, who managed to lead for the first 2 laps. And just as they cross the line, Janssen still keeping touch, but is 1.5 seconds back from Lathoris at the moment. So at this point of the race, it looks as though that there's a little bit strung out at the moment. The closest gap we've got at the moment is between the front two at the moment. Just looking a little bit further back. The battle for fourth place at the moment between Matt Webb and Luke Sullivan is still quite fierce at the moment, even though there's still about a 1 second gap. Sullivan last time around a 1 minute 9.5. Matt Webb managed to close up about 7/10 of a second last time around on a 1 minute 8.8, so he'll be looking to put the pressure on Luke Sullivan within the next couple of laps if he's able to keep that sort of pace. Alan Morgan in 6th place at the moment. Last time around was a 1 minute 9.8. A bit off the pace that last time around, but maybe had a little bit of a mistake. Looks as though that we've had Matt Williamson as well after his lap 1 incident. It's good to see him back out on the track. New names of the series, so it's always great to see new names. Even though that is the final round of the series. Just looking at the battle for pinning before, it looks as though that Matt Webb's managed to make the pass on Luke Sullivan, so a great move there from Matt Webb using the full effect of the DRS through at the final corner and into turn number 1, so great outbraking manoeuvre from him around the outside. And up into 4th place. To the first place, earlier in the lap I noticed that it was about a half second gap to Olsen, but it looks as though that he's managed to pull that gap out quite a lot in this past half a lap, so the time. So 1 minute 8.0 for Lothoris last time around, so managed just to pull out that half a second gap, as I mentioned earlier in the lap. Currently on lap number 6, so it looks as though that we'll be having I would say a 50 lap race, given their current lap times. It's typically a short lap revised layout this Indianapolis circuit over previous years. Sector 2 here as they're coming through now. That used to be 2 relatively tough, but that revised obviously to the current layout that you see here with just the sweeping left-hander following to a chicane, and then the just looking back at Brezina now. He's made some solid progress as he was in pin number 10 at the end of the first lap after that. What looked at the contact from Steve Jansen, who sits third currently. 2 seconds back from the second place of Olsen, but yeah, Brezina last time around at 1 minute 8.5, so definitely still has the pace of the leaders, but just with that unfortunate contact of the start has put him back to where he is in 7th place, currently only 1.1. Alan Morgan, series organiser. So as they're coming up to start lap number 8, looks as though that Brezina has managed to close in another 8/10 of a second this time around. So with the DRS, I see that he's managing to halve that gap again. Well, now it's down to about half a second as they're coming up into turn number 4. And up into turn 5. I'll just go on board with Brezina at the moment and see how his car's faring at the moment. Getting a solid exit out of turn 6. Getting into the DRS zone. Not able to get up to the back of Alan Morgan. Morgan runs just a little bit wide, compromising his run through here. Brezina getting a decent exit through turn 9 up through number 10. He'll have the effect of the DRS, getting really close to Morgan. He pulls alongside. Looks as though that Morgan's just getting out of the way so that it doesn't cause too much of a harm to either driver. And Brezina, a great move up into 6th place for him last time around. Only 700ths off his personal best lap time. 1 minute 8.65 last time around. So currently the gap to the next couple. Whether it's Brezina having blistering pace at the moment. I think second or third quick. Brezina, he manages a 1 minute 8.2. So of the drivers that I see on my timing screen, yeah, he was the quickest last time around. So this is so that he'll be on the back of Sullivan. I would say at the back end of this lap, or starting lap number 11. So that Brezina was trying everything he could to get onto the back of Sullivan, taken to the grass on the entry to the second part of the chicane. But it looks he's got the run on Sullivan now. He will have the DRS open at the start finish line, and great move from Brezina up into the top 5. So definitely looking to improve on his championship at the moment. He sits 4th in the championship at the moment, but it looks as though that we are in current championship order, excluding Matt Webb at the moment, sitting P4 at the moment. But I don't think, looking at the championship points tally for each position, it looks as though that Brezina will still hold on to 4th place in the stand. Last week's win at Red America, after an unfortunate disconnection from Lathoris, which put paid to his win there. But it was a great drive from Brezina to hold off Gregor Elson and Steve Janssen to take his maiden win in the series. Looking to still maintain that run of consecutive podiums, because he's been having some very solid results. I think from Road Atlanta, round number 5, he's been consistently on the podium, so definitely looking to keep that podium streak going. So just looking back up at the front at the moment, coming up to start lap number 13 at the moment. Lathoros currently leads at this point in time, 1.3 seconds over Gregory Olsen. Lap time difference between those two drivers was less than a tenth of a second. Lathoros last time around was 1 minute 8.627 compared to Olsen on a 1 minute 8.557. Steve Jansen rounds out the top three. Must have had a small mistake last time around. Gap between Jansen and Olsen is at 5.7 seconds. As Jansen, I think, was coming to the lap, Wei-Han Chan. So Wei-Han Chan, 1 lap down currently, and Matt Williamson, the only other driver that is 1 lap down. But Matt Webb currently sits 4th at the moment, with Jan Brezina slowly closing up on him. As Matt Webb has a bit of a moment in the transition back to the oval. That'll allow Brezina to get within the DRS, but doesn't manage to get within the DRS by the detection. And so I reckon by the next time around, Brezina will be within the DRS. As Matt Webb last time around was a 1 minute 9.810 compared to Brezina on a 1 minute 8.7. So Brezina is still one of the top 3 quickest drivers on the track, but we'll have the effect of the DRS as well this time around. He'll be all over the back of Matt Webb through the second sector of the track, but it looks like he'll have to sit behind. This is looking to make it a good exit out of the chicane complex and around the banking. He'll have the effect of the DRS. He was in the detection zone, but it looks as though that he won't be able to get alongside Matt Webb, as he's able to use the effect of the ERS that the drivers have to be able to defend if they've got a car behind them following close by. So Matt Webb holds on to pin number 4 this time around, as Brezina was still slightly quicker. It was still about a tenth quicker, but was not able to use the full effect of the DRS. Brezina looks much closer this time compared to the last time around, so I reckon that Brezina was just trying to charge up the battery, as he must have used that while trying to pass Luke Sullivan. But I'll see how he goes this time around. As he's opened the DRS, he'll be on the battery, but as also with Matt Webb. But Brezina dives down the inside and makes the pass, so great move from Brezina, and moves up into 4th place. It was a bit of a late move there, but Matt Webb saw it coming, and kudos to Matt not seeing him. A great spatial awareness there. It's a move that can be used quite often to make an overtaking pass, as that is one of the main overtaking opportunities around the lap. Through the infield section, maybe not so much, but yeah, definitely turn number 1 being the opportunistic overtaking maneuver on the track. looking a little bit further back, we've got Luke Sullivan at the still currently sitting in P number 6, 5.2 seconds back from Matt Webb. Sullivan currently up one position at the moment. Started 7th, so it was a decent qualifying from Sullivan. Up one position at the moment. It looks as though that if the only retiree at the moment is Shane Hammond, who crashed out in lap number 1. As I see Wei-Han Chan making a mistake up through turn number 5, so Wei-Han looking as though he's struggling a little bit. Best lap time over 1 minute 10.9 more than 4. Last lap over 1 minute 14.829, so definitely looks as though he's struggling out there a little bit, but we'll see whether he can make any more progress. So looking back at Alan Morgan for P number 7, this is currently the closest battle on track at the moment. Morgan's managing to notice that he's closed up quite a lot within the top sector. Looking at his sector times, currently only shows the first sector at the moment, but looks as though that Morgan was able to close up 1.2 seconds within the first of the track, but Sullivan was a tenth quicker in the first sector. But it looks as though that Morgan's made a small mistake, maybe overcooked his tyres trying to close back up, and it falls a little bit back from some Sullivan. Still managing to stay within the range, but we'll see whether he is able to close up in this middle part of the lap. But it looks as though that it's only really gained about 1/10 of a second. I will see whether we can go on the effect of the DRS, so we'll just have a look to see what kind of top speeds Alan is achieving and how much he can close up on Sullivan. So it looks as though that you gain about a 12 km/h advantage compared to Sullivan, but yeah, it looks as though that not able to fluctuating between I would say it's 3/4 of a second and a second, so Morgan won't have the effect of the DRS at this stage, but see whether he can close back up through this this sweeping left hand and up into the chicane here. So it looks as though that Morgan's really charging up the battery. Could probably use a bit more of the ARS, but to close back up on the back of Sullivan. But Still getting that advantage of the DRS, but the gap currently at the moment is blown out to 1.4. Morgan's possibly struggling a little bit out there with something on his car, so we'll see whether he can close. Looking Thoris over Gregory Elson. This time around, lap times were fairly similar, but Lathoris was about 0.2 of a second quicker over Olsen with a 1 minute 8.1 compared to Olsen on a near enough a 1 minute 8.4. So just as I get a cheeky Windows update, I have to put that on snooze. So it looks as though that Lathoris is managing to stretch that gap out at the moment. Got a 3-second gap at the moment, so it looks as though he's managed to pull out at least another 4/10 this time around. Yeah, Lathoris managing to, it was about near enough quarter of a second he gained. The last time around to 1 minute 8.4 compared to Olsen on 1 minute 8.7. Steve Janssen still rounding at the top 3, still doing the same similar pace to Gregory Olsen. And these 700s slower last time around. Brezina closing up slightly to Steve Janssen. Was only about 0.3 of a second quicker the last time around. Just we're coming up to half race distance. We'll also have to see whether drivers decide to pit. See how the effect of the tyres are playing on the drivers. At the moment, lap times really haven't fallen away at the moment. Difference in terms of lap time for the drivers ranging from about half a second to 1 second with the leaders in terms of their fastest lap to their current pace at the moment. But Brezina managing to go quicker again on a 1 minute 8.1, so he's definitely trying to push for the final podium position at the moment. Still 7 seconds behind Janssen. Sorry, managing to close up about near 5.5 tenths at least. So we've still got about 20 laps of this race to go. So if he can keep that kind of pace, he'll be all over the back of Janssen within, I would say, the next 10-15 laps or so. So we should have a great battle holding up towards the latter part of the race here. Also noticed that we've had a retirement in David Street as well, so it's been unfortunate for David at the moment. Whether he's had a mistake or whether he's just decided to pull it into the pits, and Parker will have to find out if he joins the commentary box, or whether he lets us know how his race went. But unfortunate there for David Street, was running quite strong. Would have been in the top 10, but unfortunate for him to see him out. Let's currently see that Lathoris is falling down the timing screen at the moment, but he's regained the lead. So it looks as though that Lathoris is having connection issues once again, which plagued him at the last round in Road America. So it looks as though that for the time being, Olsen is leading. I still don't see Lathoris as he's falling down the timing screen at the moment. He's in the pits. So just as he comes back as well. So yeah, it looks as though that Lathoris is definitely having connection issues. So we'll have to see whether his connection is able to hold out. Definitely doesn't want it to happen to him in the final round, as he's been very, very dominant throughout the season. He currently enjoys a 308-point lead over Gregory Olsen. So mathematically, Lathoris is champion for season 1 of the Oceanic Formula 1 Championship, but definitely wants to seal the deal at the final round here at Indianapolis. Gap currently still around about 2.5 seconds, so gap still stayed fairly stagnant over the last 3-4 laps. But looks as though that Janssen has closed in slightly, even though that last time around he was about 0.3 of a second slower than Olsen this time around. So it looks as though that the drivers are fairly strung out at this point of the race. Brezina only managing to close in about 0.07 of a second last time around, but as he comes across the line now, has managed to pull in about 1.5 seconds to Janssen. It looks as though that Janssen's had a small mistake somewhere that's cost him that 1.5 seconds to Brezina. So gap currently down to 5.1 seconds to Janssen. So if he keeps making those sorts of mistakes, yeah, it will be within the next couple of laps that Brezina is on the back of him. Just also looking a little bit further back to Houston. Last time around, he managed to pull in 0.7 of a second to Alan Morgan. So this battle may be hotting up at the towards the final 10 minutes of the race. But gap currently at the moment is about 5.2 seconds between the 7th place driver of Alan Morgan to Martin Houston in 8th. Last car running at the moment is Wei Han Chen, currently 3 laps down against the leader, but 2 laps behind the current battle on screen. Yeah, this is it. That Lathoris is coming up to lap Houston, so he'll be the next car to go a lap down as Lathoris manages to negotiate the traffic. The next car behind Houston will be Greg Olsen, currently 2.5 seconds back to Lathoris. just rejoining this battle for pin number 3. Brezina was able to close in 0.3 of a second last time around. I will see that he's getting visually closer to Janssen, so it's definitely the car of Janssen is definitely growing bigger in the visor of Brezina, so it looks as though that he's definitely closing in. We'll see this time around whether he's able to close in just that little bit. Was another 0.8 of a second gained. So, who was that? Oh, that was Wei Han Chan spinning off into the front, just in front of Brezina. So, another bit of traffic negotiated for Brezina. Gap currently at the moment 4 seconds to Janssen. So, Brezina definitely closing in to the back of Janssen. No, I'm not sure if Janssen got caught up in that spin of Wei Han Chan, but Janssen's still holding on to pin number 3 consistently throughout the season, being a consistent driver, a few podiums throughout the season. We're definitely looking to end the season on podium, but with Brezina's pace at the moment, managing to pull in about another 1/10.5 within the final sector. But yeah, it looks as though that Gap was only able to close in about a 1/10 of a second the last time around, so Gap's definitely looking as though it's consolidating in the favour of Janssen, but I will see how the tyres fare for all of the drivers. It looks as though that it's been fairly consistent across everyone's fastest lap. Lathoris was only really 2.5 tenths slower than his personal best, so tyres definitely not dropping off. So we'll see every driver quite possibly going their distance, as looks as though Olsen's coming up to, Janssen was coming up to a bit of traffic, but could have been wrong, or whether he just got out of the way. Also, I've just also seen that Olsen's just had a bit of a mistake this last time around. I'll see whether we can go on replay, see what's happened. So he's just coming over at the start of the last lap. It looks as though that's Martin Houston up in front of him. It's getting definitely a little bit squirrely through turn 2 there. Up into turn number 4 and up through 5. Must have, by the looks of it, had an error on the previous lap to the one that we just started. So last time around we did was a 1 minute 18.4 or something like that. So it's definitely a mistake on Austin's part that I missed. But yeah. He's doing consistent lap times now, back into the low 1 minute 9s. Gap to Lathoris has gone out to 13.5 seconds. So definitely a costly mistake there for Olsen. Definitely not what he wanted to end the season, but he still holds second place, 5.8 seconds over Janssen. And this battle, still for the final place on the podium, is down to 1.7 seconds, so we'll have to stay with this for a little bit as we see that gaps closing in quite considerably. Janssen last time around was 1 minute 9.3 compared to Brezina on a 1 minute 8.6. So yeah, definitely looks as though that Brezina is closing in quite rapidly. Should be on the back of Janssen within the next couple of laps. Won't have the effect of the DRS. Up into the turn 7 complex, but definitely looks as though he's pushing quite hard. Looks as though that Janssen and Olsen are coming up to a little bit of traffic at the moment, as we're still on board with Brezina. We're just going to go lap on board with Brezina for this time. Heading up into turn 1, braking just before the 2. Clipping the curve on the inside there, through turn number 3, heading up, navigating the traffic, staying on the inside, managing to negotiate that successfully through 4, then through 5. Definitely close up on Janssen. 3 6, hugging the apex there, running it out wide towards the 0 zone, getting a little bit squirrely. Heading up into turn number 7, you want to watch the access road there, hugging the apex there, coming up to Martin Houston now, managing to make the pass there through 8, or getting a bit squirrely on the power as he's tried to put it down, overheated the rears, but through 10. That's definitely cost Brezina a good 3-4 tenths through that sector alone, and around the final corner, hugging the apex on the inside there. And this time around does a 1 minute 9.9, so still 3 tenths gained on Janssen. But with that lap traffic didn't necessarily help Brezina in his charge back onto the podium. So just as we're coming up to roughly about 10 and 3/4 minutes to go, it looks as though that Brezina is closed right up on the back of the gearbox of Steve Janssen. Last time around it was only 2 tenths of a second gain, but Janssen looks as though that he's made a small mistake within this lap, has allowed to Brezina to close up on the back of him. Gap at the moment 4 tenths of a second. He'll definitely be looking to make a charge as they're coming up to start lap number 39. As they're coming up towards the final quarter now, Brezina will have the effect of the DRS. Whether he's got enough battery to get up to the back of Janssen, it looks as though he's going to make the charge. He's got the DRS open, but not able to get up to the back of Janssen. These two drivers had a bit of a collision on the first lap, which set Brezina behind. So no love lost between the two drivers from this race. But yeah, two consistent drivers finding it up for the final podium position as Brezina looks for the inside line, but can't get up far enough on the inside. Has the effect of the DRS from this small straight, but definitely can't get alongside. Janssen has to fall back in line. Good to say that Brezina made a small mistake through turn number 9 back onto the oval section, so wasn't able to get the benefit of good exit out of the final corner. Has the DRS open, but will only really be able to manage to close up about 2-3 tenths. So last time still 2 tenths gained, so definitely on the charge. But would have liked to have had a good exit out of that second last corner there. As we're going to go on board Brezina, just to show you how close the battle is at the moment. Through by turn number 5, through 6, trying to get the run on Janssen through this part of the section as he's able to open up the gap a little bit, but Brezina able to close back in. Janssen runs a little bit wide through this turn 7 complex that compromises his run through 8 and 9 through 10. See whether Brezina gets a good exit. Most of that is managing to stay within 2-3 tenths and goes around the outside. Must have used the effect of the battery, or Janssen not able to deploy any batteries. He's used it all to defend. But Brezina gains the final podium position. Got 7.5 minutes to go, so great move there from Brezina to get back up into the podium position after that first corner incident, which put him back into the 11th place, or the back end of the top 10. So great recovery there from Brezina to find himself in the final podium position. We'll see whether in this final 7 minutes of the race, whether Janssen's able to close back up, or whether he's just burnt his tyres, and Brezina will then be able to pull away, as gap currently at the moment holding out to 9 cents of a second. So we'll see whether Janssen has the effect of the DRS as he makes a small mistake through turn 8, but it looks as though that he's out of the DRS range, as the gap at the moment is about 1.4 seconds. So Brezina having a solid lap this time around. I'll see what his lap time is this time around. And 1 minute 8.6. So last time around he was the quickest driver on the circuit. Leader's currently in the low 1 minute 9. So yeah, it looks as though that Brezina won't be able to catch up to Olsen, provided that he doesn't make a mistake. But we'll see how that unfolds with the final 6 minutes of the race to go. Yeah, just sort of coming out to the final 5 minutes of this race. It looks as though that the gaps have strung out quite significantly. Current leader Lothoris holds a 21-second lead over Gregory Olsen. Further 3.5 seconds back. Sorry, is from Olsen is Jan Brezina, 4th place. Similar distance back is Steve Jansen, running at the top 5 at the moment, 23 seconds back. Matt Webber, solid result for him. Luke Sullivan sits pin number 6 at the moment, 7th. About 30 seconds behind, so roughly about half a lap to Martin Houston. Alan Morgan sits pin number 8, and he is the last car running at the current time, as Wei Han Chen currently sits in the pits. Whether he's had an incident out on the track or whether he's decided to pull it into the pits, we'll have to find out from him. But looks as though that Gregory Olsen's had a small mistake within this part of the lap as well, so gap's currently halved between Brezina and Olsen. So see how this battle will unfold. It looks as though that we've got, I would say, 4 laps to go, given that Lathoris still holds a 21-second lead. Well, now it's out to 22 seconds. My apologies, but yeah, he's still got that gap to see whether he can still force that extra lap. Currently starting lap number 45, so it's been a fairly dominant race for Lathoris. Even though that he hasn't led every lap of the race, he's only managed to lead 38 of the total 45 laps currently. So, but this battle for the second place on the podium between Olsen and Brezina is shaping up quite nicely. Brezina last time around managing to pull in about 7 to 8 tenths of a second. So on that current pace, there will be a last lap dash for Brezina to see whether he can get into the second place on the podium. So coming around the final corner now to start lap number 46, it looks as though that Brezina is managing to close up quite significantly. We've got Gregory Olsen. Looks as though that he's deploying the battery to see whether he can defend as much as he can, but looks as though that Brezina was able to gain about 9 tenths of a second the last time around, so gap currently at the moment only 7 tenths of a second. As they're heading up through turn number 5 now, up through 6. Looks as though that Brezina's much stronger through this section of the track. Getting the effect of the DRS, we are up through 7. And up through turn 8 and 9. And back onto the oval section, Brezina's definitely closer this time around. Going around the outside, he'll have the effect of the DRS. But it looks as though that Olsen's deploying the battery. Great dicing from these two drivers, but Brezina having the effect of the DRS, he's up alongside. He'll be late on the brakes, but Olsen defending for all of his life and managing to hold on to the second place. Great defending from Olsen there. Must have got a much lower downforce set to hold on to position there, as Brezina looked as though he was challenging throughout the first 2 seconds of the lap, but yeah, just can't. As he dives down the inside, Olsen sees him coming, but looks as though that Brezina not able to get far up on the inside. As we see that Thoris is coming around to start the final lap as he crosses with 2 seconds left to go. So this will be the final lap of the race, coming back to the battle for second. as they head up around the final corner now. Brzezina will have the effect of the DRS, but we'll see whether Olsen, it looks as though that at this point he's got the much lower downforce set, but the speed difference only really being 8 kilometers an hour, but Olsen defending very, very well, staying to the inside of the track, not allowing Brzezina to get anywhere him, or Brzezina diving up the inside but can't get the drive up on the inside. He'll have the ideal line as he goes around the outside. Great move there from Olsen, Brzezina to get back up into second place. We'll see how. As Brzezina leaps it around and makes contact with the wall. Unfortunate for him, we'll have to cut back to that as Lathoris comes around the final corner now to win the final round of the Oceanic Formula 1 Championship here at Indianapolis, and cements his championship status and rounds at his position as first in the championship. Gregory Olsen managing to hold off the challenge from Brzezina to finish in the second place, and cements himself into the second place in the championship. So congratulations to him. Steve Janssen managing to overtake Jan Brzezina at the final part of the last lap, and managing to jump Brzezina. Unfortunate for him, for Brzezina to lose the second place in the last lap, but Matt Webb coming across the line now to finish pin number 5, and great result for him. It looks as though that Martin Houston coming across the line now to finish pin number 7. Also, McSullivan doing his donuts at the end, but Alan Morgan crossing the line as well to finish up pin number 8, series organizer. So a solid result for him. Down. So it was a great round to end on this the Oceanic Formula 1 Championship. I see that our championship winner and race winner as well, Evan Lathoris, is going to come up for an interview. Welcome, Evan, to the Apex Racing TV commentary box. Congratulations on the race win here at Indianapolis, but also to the championship as well. So, coming into the final round of the race, what were your thoughts heading into this one?
Thanks, Scott. Mate, I didn't really know what to expect this round. Didn't really put a lot of practice in leading up to, so I wasn't really sure how the other guys had prepared. There's been a lot of guys who have improved quite significantly over the last few weeks, so I wasn't really sure, to be honest. But turned out well.
That you're struggling a little bit with Olsen leading for the first 7 laps of the race, but you managed to get past him into turn number 1. Was it the effect of your setup, or was it mainly just the power of the DRS that was that played the effect of you jumping into the lead?
I think through the tight section, I was actually probably running a little bit more wing than Gregory, and I felt I was stronger there. But on the straight, he was pretty quick actually. So it wasn't my setup that was that enabled me to get past. I think it was a DRS.
So throughout the season, we've seen that you've been quite dominant throughout the series. What were your overall thoughts over the season, given that we had some quality drivers at the start of the season, but obviously some of the drivers are starting to fall off during the middle of the season?
Yeah, I just think it's one of those cars where you need to put in a lot of effort, a lot of work to try and work it out. And perhaps people may have found it too difficult. But I think with most leagues, you'll find that there's a pretty good uptake at the start, and then people tend to drop off. And people have commitments as well, so you can't expect them to race every week. But it's been good. And the people that have hung around are quality people, really nice people, and have supported the league. So, I need to thank them as well for them taking part and supporting myself and Alan. It's been great, and I really appreciate it, and I know Alan does as well.
With the talk of being a season 2, what are your intentions heading up into the season 2, if that's going ahead?
Well, personally, I'd love to see a season 2, but we might actually take a bit of a break, given there's been some drop in numbers, and potentially try and build a bit more momentum and try and get some people back into the league. But we'll see what happens. We might need to shift the days around. Friday may not be suitable for everyone, so we just need to sort of ask the question, suck it and see, and see if we come back for another season. And I know a few people have already mentioned, expressed interest, so we'll just see where it goes.
And if anyone that wanted to register their expression of interest, where would they be able to find out the information to put their name down?
We have a Facebook group called Oceanic F1 League. It has, I think, roughly 80 or 90 members already. So if there's anyone out there that can perhaps contribute to the league or is interested in helping us get a season 2 up, they're more than welcome. So yeah, so that's Facebook Oceanic F1 League.
Just before we let you go, Evan, is there anyone that you would like to thank before we let you go?
Well, obviously, I'd like to thank you guys. The broadcast has been excellent, and I think has brought a lot to this league. So, big thanks to yourself and Sam. Also, on a personal note, I would love to thank Alan, who's such a nice guy and has put in a lot of time and effort. More than I have, and I've put in a decent amount as well. So I really want to thank him, and also our sponsors, Melbourne Kart Centre, KRF, and the other guys as well. So yeah, so if it wasn't for all of them contributing, this wouldn't have happened. I'm looking forward to my race suit.
And on a personal note, I'd also like to congratulate yourself and Alan as well on a successful Formula 1 league. Definitely a tough gig, especially in the oceanic time zones. Obviously, you know that doing the official series, GMT time is not the easiest for us guys. So to have a F1 series that's much more suitable to us oceanic region drivers, it's been a credit to you guys, and I wish to see a season 2 go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. And I guess while we're on the topic, the Asian Oceanic region, the guys that have supported us from that area, many thanks to those guys as well. I know the time isn't exactly ideal, but I I guess it's a fair compromise and allows them to get from work to home and jump in. So thanks everyone, and it's been great, and hopefully there's a season 2.
Yeah, no worries. Well, thanks very much for that, Evan, and we wish you all the best, and we hope to see you for season 2 if it goes ahead.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Sam, and all the best, guys.
So that was Evan Lathoris, your championship winner, and race winner for round number 8 here at Indianapolis. Also coming up on Apex Racing TV, we've got the European V8 Supercars Championship. That is at Monza. That will be starting at 6 p.m. GMT. So that will be broadcasted live on here on Apex Racing TV. We've also got, if I can find my notes, we've got the Club 73 Championship. That will be live at 20:30 GMT on Sunday night. Apologies for not knowing where that is for this week. Also, we got the BSR Formula Renault Championship. That will be at Phillip Island, and that will be coming to you live at 8 p.m. GMT on the Tuesday. The BSR Kia Pro Series, that will be coming to you live on the Thursday at 7:30 p.m. GMT. So that will provide some great racing action here on Apex Racing TV. But yeah, I'm just about to wrap up the broadcast for tonight. I just want to thank all the guys over at Apex Racing TV, and especially to Samuli Kumo for giving us a huge hand and on these broadcasts. So really appreciate it to him, but to also the all of the organisers at the Oceanic Formula 1 Championship Series. With sponsors of Ars Medica, Niveo, Carif Motorsports, and Melbourne Kart Centre. So my name's been Scott Newton, and we hope to see you very, very soon for all the upcoming broadcasts on Apex Racing TV, but also hope that the Oceanic Formula 1 Championship starts with the season 2. So we'll catch you later.
When I sat in the car, you always wonder, what's it going to feel like? It was my first time driving a mid-engine GT car. My thoughts were, wow, this is really good for a first time in a car. I was really surprised by it. You're sitting low, you got the A-pillars at steep angles, the windshields at steep angles, you can see the fender flares. I think we have a chance to win. Everything's got to go right, but I think we have a car that can win the race or be on the podium. But can you imagine how cool that would be to go back 50 years later to the year and do it?
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always